Hello, my name is Johan from restoration.bike, and in this video I'm going to explain to you how to fix sticky mountain bike shifters. In this case, Deore XT STI shifters from 1991. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I also have a Facebook group for like-minded people who want to restore their own bike, and you're welcome to join that group with the help of the link in the description below. MTB shifters work with a ratchet mechanism and are lubricated using a thicker lithium grease. Tiny springs make sure the ratchet pawl keeps applying force on the ratchet wheel, but over time the grease totally dries and keeps the pawl from returning. And the symptom is a loose shifter that won't shift at all. I had this problem before with another bike. I solved it by painstakingly cleaning and lubricating the shifter. But before we start, I want to make very clear that a shifter mechanism is extremely delicate and it was never intended to be disassembled, not even by a bike mechanic. So the first thing you need to do is remove the shifter and its housing. And the shifter is bolted onto the brake levers and can be removed with the help of an Allen key. You'll need to loosen the shifter cables as well, or else you won't be able to perform this repair because the shifter will stay attached to the bicycle. Since I'll be replacing the cable anyway, I simply cut it and remove the entire shifter. The shifter has a number of screws, and one is to remove a part of the housing so you can replace the cable by pressing it out of the shifter housing. The other two screws keep the entire housing into its place. And with the entire housing gone, it's also easy to remove the cable. And the yellow residue on the shifter is the gummed up grease that need to be removed. Both shifters have small plastic rings that can break very easily, possibly ruining the shifter. Be very careful at this step and do not operate the shifter without its housing. The go-to solution for fixing sticky mountain bike shifters is to basically spray an entire can of WD-40 into it. WD-40 dissolves the old grease and put a slight film of new grease into the shifter. But WD-40 is expensive and doesn't get everywhere you'd like it to, since the shifter is a sealed mechanism. So I decided to submerge the sticky MTB shifter entirely into a small jar filled with white spirit. White spirit is a much stronger and much cheaper degreaser, and since there's no rubber in the shifter, it can damage any parts. I use white spirit to clean a lot of bicycle parts, and I always reuse it. And since the shifter is a much more delicate, let's say crank, I use clean white spirit in this case. I don't want any crud getting into the mechanism. After a couple of minutes, the grease will be gone, and by comparing the white spirit afterwards, you can actually see the amount of crap that's coming out of the shifter. Before you re-grease the shifter, make sure the majority of the white spirit is gone, either by wiping it from the shifter and shifter housing and or blowing it out. And you can either put in new lithium grease on the shifter ratchet and pawl, or a bit of sewing machine oil, and put it all back together. And use the shifter a couple of dozen times to make sure the grease goes everywhere it's supposed to go. And that's how you fix sticky mountain bike shifters. And I'll leave you with a video of how a perfectly operating shifter helps you, get that experience on the bicycle you want to have. I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and don't forget to consider joining the Facebook group, and I hope I can welcome you again for the next video. Bye for now.